Hello everyone, you're watching Movie Mania by USK. I'm Utsav, and this is my film review for Malang. And my first reaction is that it is a consistently enjoyable, terrific suspense thriller, marred somewhat by a predictable love story and not so great music. So before we delve into the details, the basic plot is the film revolves around Aditya Roy Kapoor and Disha Patani's character for sure. These two characters are hitchhikers who meet in Goa. Sparks fly between them. They meet up at a party, and you know what the party is for, though. And then things happen. They enjoy, in Disha Patani's words, they live life from one high to another. They have cliff jumpings, etc., etc. I won't get into those details because the film hasn't really tried to invest as much into the love story. So I will skip to the best part, which is an unforeseen incident that kind of knocks them off their feet and kind of derails their love story. But it really brings the film to its own ground. The best part of the film, the suspense thriller. Now, this is where things get interesting. The film actually starts in present time in a prison fight sequence. You know which sequence I'm talking about, though. It is a single shot sequence, shot from behind. Like you can't see Aditya Roy Kapoor's face throughout the sequence till the sequence is over. It is an extremely well shot and well directed sequence, and then the entire film goes back and forth with past and present, and that keeps you on your feet and you try to connect the dots throughout the film along with the characters. Now this brings me to the pros of the film. Firstly, the performances. Starting with Disha Patani, the film kind of revolves around her character and Aditya Roy Kapoor's. She looks terrific. Double thumbs up for the styling though. But her performance is pretty inconsistent to begin with. Because in the love story part, I felt she could have been better. But in the latter half, where the emotional bits come into the picture, her performance, she really pulls up her socks. And she tries to match up to her counterpart, who is Aditya Roy Kapoor, who, by the way, has really knocked it out of the park in this film with a subtle and a devilish performance. He plays the lover boy and the man with vengeance in his eyes and blood in his hands to the T. He fits the bill, and how? I mean, the physical transformation was anyways something that we all were taken aback by, but he really plays the character so well. And I think this film his might bring his career back on trajectory. But the biggest show stealers, quite expectedly though, are Anil Kapoor and Kunal Khemu, guys. And this is a real testament to the sheer talent of Kunal Khemu, because most of the scenes of Anil Kapoor and Kunal Khemu are with each other only, with no one else in the frame. And yet there was moments where you felt like Kunal Khemu is somewhat outshining Anil Kapoor. And that really is a big testament to this one talent that we have. He's always doing comedy, which he does pretty well though. But in this film, his character gets the complete arc. He plays the righteous cop who always follows the rules. But Anil Kapoor is playing this no holds barred character for whom any murderer, killer needs to be killed on spot. He's this encounter specialist, if you may. So this one-upmanship between the two throughout most of the film really keeps you on your toes, and we really enjoy the conversations between them. They are so good. It has both the characters are written so well. There is a backstory to them, and the backstory is well etched out. Their performances are equally befitting. But the real surprise package, though, guys, is Ellie Avram. I mean, while watching the trailer, I realized she was there in the film for a little longer than what we expect from side characters. But I didn't expect her character to be so important in the film. She kind of holds the film together, though. And her performance is equally effective. Coming to the biggest part of the film, the director Mohit Suri. Take a bow, Mohit Suri, because when it came down to the suspense thriller part of the film, which is a majority portion of the film, this is Mohit Suri performing to the best of his abilities and giving us a suspense thriller where we are always invested in trying to unravel the mystery along with all the characters, where he is guiding us, holding our hands and taking us to the point where he goes like, see, you see that may be the killer, this may be the killer. But then he tells you, I'm the one holding your hand. I'm the director. This is my film and I'm always a step ahead of you. That is how good he is. But where he has faltered, blame it on his last film, the love story. He has, it's as if he put in so much effort into writing the suspense thriller, he just didn't bother about the love story. He hasn't really written it much. Because, the love story doesn't have a backstory. I mean, of course, the backstory is just said in one line during song sequences, and the characters aren't very well etched out. You don't really feel the connection between them, and by the time you really start getting involved with the love story, it's already a little too late. Also, when you don't have a great love story in your film, you might as well have a great soundtrack to back that average love story, which in every other case is a plus point for Mohit Suri films. And here too, the soundtrack is good. Don't get me wrong, guys. If you have heard the songs, they are pretty good. But ask yourself, 5 6 months down the line, do you see yourself humming the songs? Even for his last two films, which were flops, Hamari Adhuri Kahani Hai and Half Girlfriend, both of them had terrific soundtracks. You still listen to them. But that is not the case with Malang. The songs fit into the picture, but they don't really elevate the entire movie watching experience. And that is a bummer, because if the love story and the soundtrack both aren't up to the mark, you don't really feel for the revenge thriller part of it. But majority of the film is this terrific suspense thriller. Do not miss this suspense thriller. If you're a sucker for typical Bollywood suspense thriller, you are gonna have a terrific time, because another big plus point of this film is the terrific background score. You know which background score I'm talking about. This is repeated quite a few times throughout the film, and it works every single time. So yes, it is a double thumbs up from my side for Mohit Suri's Malang. Do not miss this film if you are a sucker for Bollywood suspense thrillers. And yes, we will meet soon this week with another film review of mine. Check out which that one is. So till then, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and do provide comments as to what else do you want me to come up with in my sections. Thank you and have a great time.